Hey, this is Dwayne. I'm sure you recognize me. This is a little different way for me to speak with you. I'm sending you a video. First of all, to thank you for your service last night at the Constitution Week Scout Merit Badge Clinic. It was a great success in many regards, and it's a work in progress in others. We received a lot of feedback forms back from the Merit Badge instructors, back from the classroom assistants, and we also polled the Scout leaders as they left. And overall, everyone loves the smaller class sizes. Of course, those who got to be in the smaller classes, those of you who had to teach in the large pods and the library, my condolences. We still need to work out the overflow arrangements. But in terms of the smaller class sizes, the Merit Badge instructors indicated that they were able to interact better with the young men, and I think that was great. We also had great support from the security. I guess if we look at on the bright side of things that went well, the small class sizes were very popular. The security went very well. The organization of the classrooms and the assignments went very well. We appreciate everybody's participation. Now, there are some things that didn't work quite so well, and that's the work in progress part. First of all, I apologize. I had intended to have all of the bags completely filled and ready rather than just a generic 30 across the board. I made a mistake in that call, and we'll make it so next week all you have to do is pick up your bag and head off to your next destination. I specifically didn't say head off to your class. For classroom assistants, we're going to ask that rather than picking up the bag and going to the classroom, we wanted this week you to go to the classroom first to make sure the class was open. But we found that Linda in security and the janitors were able to have all the classrooms open before we got there, which was a great benefit. So this next week, we're going to ask you to pick up the class bags and go straight to the staging area and wait for enough scouts to fill your room and be off. One of the areas that we need to improve on is with regard to getting to the classroom, and the classes started by 7 o'clock. So if we were to say what needs to get better, we must start every class by 7 o'clock to have enough time to cover the materials that need to be covered. That having been said, we also need to be very cognizant of the time that we let the scouts out. We're asking that no class be let out before 8:25 because we don't have enough personnel out in the grassy mall area to monitor what's going on if class is really early. So if you finish with your instruction early, then go through some review questions. And I know it was hard with the air conditioner being a problem, but we need to stay in the classroom until 8:25, and that's when the leaders will be expecting the scouts to be out. Another issue is with regard to the question on can we have chairs available for the Merit Badge leaders. I'm sorry, I didn't say that right. Can we have chairs available for the scout leaders? And really, any chair that we put a scout leader in is a chair that's not available for the scouts in the smaller classroom. So what we found is that we may be leaning up against walls, or we may be sitting down at the desk next to a scout that needs some help, but really we'd like to maintain the chairs for the scouts. There was a suggestion that there be some place for the classroom assistants to sit, and I would suggest that the teachers' desks be exclusively for the classroom assistants for a couple reasons. First of all, they have personal and private things on their desks, and I think the adults will be better than having scouts sitting at those desks, just as a matter of respect and taking care of the property. We did have a pretty major incident, and I was concerned about this when I spoke with leadership at the school on Monday, and that is I wanted some way for keys to come around and lock up all the rooms as we finished up. The situation was that once the Merit Badge instructors and the classroom assistants and the scout leaders all left the rooms, there was a room where a permanent marker was used on a marking board, and the mother of all swear words was written on the marking board, which really doesn't bode, it doesn't make us look good as representatives of the Grand Canyon Council in the Santan District. So what we're going to ask the school this week to do is to get the janitors going through immediately right at 8:30 and locking classrooms up. If either the Merit Badge instructor or the classroom assistant could remain in the class until the janitor shows up, it will help us protect the classroom better. So changes with regard to the staging worked real well. We have a lot of scouts to get to the classrooms. We didn't do very well this week about getting them to the classrooms on time, but I believe if we have the staging areas line up kind of like World did, single file, So if Merit Badge in the Nation, this is specifically for the triage specialists, and all the classroom assistants that will be there at the staging area. Help us line the scouts up in single file. We'll put you in front of the scouts. We're not going to hand the tickets out next week. We're just going to count them off. The staging areas triage specialists will have a list of how many students, how many chairs there are in each classroom. You'll just need to indicate, show your bag. They'll count that number off, put a leader behind them, ship you out. We need to move everybody out a lot quicker so all of the classes can begin by 7 o'clock. The overflow classes were overburdened this week, and there's some adjustments that we're going to make in trying to get a couple more classrooms available and a couple more instructors. But we just like us, we know you're volunteers and you're volunteering your time, and we appreciate your efforts and your service. There was kudos from scout leaders as they walked out all night long saying the instruction was great, the materials were great. There were some issues that we need to tweak relative to the Merit Badge packets being updated, and we're going to do that next March. But thank you so much for everything that you've done. Thank you for staying on board. The small little tweaks and changes that we can make this week, I think it will make it even better and more efficient next week. So thank you again, and I'll see you on Wednesday for session 2 of the 2013 Constitution Week Scout Citizenship Merit Badge Clinic. Thanks.